So are you interested in seeing all of your Trello boards all within one calendar view, as opposed to having to go into each individual Trello board to see the individual calendars so you can see all the tasks that you have assigned to you? Or would you like to be able to have one calendar option that you can go into to see all of the tasks that you have across all your boards in one calendar view, calendar format? Well, you can do that by syncing your boards to your Google Calendar, and you can have all of that in one spot as opposed to having to look through all your different boards. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can go about doing that in a little bit. So my name is Mallory with Virtually Mallory, and if you are new to this channel, welcome and thank you for joining. I actually recently just shared a video on how to color code within your Google Calendar, and I'm going to leave that at the top somewhere in a little icon so that you can see that, because what I'm sharing with you today is going to kind of tie into that so that you can use your one Google Calendar to be able to do all of your time blocking if you want to do time blocking, or just to see everything that you want to do on a day-to-day basis all in one spot. So I personally love having this option, love seeing everything in my Google Calendar. I actually strictly use Google Calendar for all of my planning. So to be able to have all my Trello boards pulled into the Google Calendar so I can see them laid out in the different time blocks for my Google Calendar. So I'm going to actually now show you how you can go and sync your your Trello board to your Google Calendar. So we're going to dive into that now. Okay, so we are in one of my Trello boards, and what I'm going to show you in this board, you can do across multiple different boards. I'm just going to show you how to do it within one, and then you can apply that to all the other boards that you would like to have pulled into your Google Calendar so that you can see everything all in one spot that way. Okay, so the first thing that you want to make sure that you have available, or that you have selected within your board, is that you have the calendar power up within your board. And how to go about double checking to make sure you have that is you can either see it at the top up here. If you don't see it at the top up here, go to where it says show menu, and go to the power up section here. And if there is nothing selected here, you would click on, let's disable this and then I'll re-able it. So it says add power up. So you'll select that, and then you will go to where it says, you would type in calendar and then hit add. Okay, so then you can see here that we have the calendar power up enabled here. And you can see here that the calendar option is available. And you can click on it, and this is the view from the calendar option within your Trello board, and you can look at it on a monthly basis or a weekly basis. And then to have it sync to your Google Calendar, you would go to show menu again. You would click on the calendar option, and you would go to edit power up settings, and you would copy. So you would select this and hit Control C to copy that link. And then you would go to your Google Calendar. So I'm going to go to my Google Calendar, and you would go to where it says other calendars, and you would click on the plus sign next to where it says other calendars. And then you would click on from URL. So you want to make sure that that's the one that you select. And then you hit Control V on your keyboard to paste that link into the URL. And then you go to add calendar. And then it says calendar has been added. So then we're going to go back to the main board. And you can see here that in other calendars, this to-do list, that is the board name. So let me go back to the Trello board. So you can see here that this Trello board name is to-do list. So whatever name you have identified for your board is the name that it's going to pull into the Google Calendar. And that's what is going to be labeled in your Google Calendar. So if we go back to the Google Calendar, you can actually update the color. So let's say you don't really care for this yellowy green kind of color. You click on these little 3 dots here, and you can select, from an array of different colors, what color you would like that particular board to be. So let's say we want that board pink. And then we can add in other boards using that exact same method by making sure that the power up option for the calendar is enabled on the board. Then going to click on the calendar option and clicking the edit power up settings, and then copying that link. So you're going to have a separate link for each of your boards. There's going to be a different link for each of your boards. And then again, going to your Google Calendar, just clicking on the plus sign, clicking on from URL, and just adding that new URL in, and then doing that for each one of your boards so that it is all synced then to your Google Calendar. Now, I will say it did sync really quickly when you put it in, but sometimes, for the most part, if you make changes in your Trello board for a specific due date, there is a bit of a lag when it comes to updating the due date within the Google Calendar. So once it's synced, it does take a little bit of time once you make a change. So now that we have this synced in here, and if we would go in here and make a change to the due date, let's say the doctor's appointment now has been changed to, next week, and we hit the save button, it's not going to automatically update that right away in here. You can see that the make doctor's appointment still shows up here. And even if we refresh, let's refresh this. So yeah, even if we refresh it, it still shows up right there. So it does just take a little bit of time to sync with the changes that you make. And then also, as a side note, to know that whenever Trello adds in the tasks to your Google Calendar, it makes it an hour long. So if your task doesn't take an hour, so a load of laundry, when I load the laundry, the washing machine, it doesn't take an hour to put all the clothes in. So what I typically like to do is I will still schedule events around that, or tasks that I want to get done around that specific Trello task. So I know maybe this doesn't take as long, or if it takes 2 hours, maybe create another event with that same color, making it the same color, and just saying extension of, whatever the task is, so that you can time block well within your Google Calendar. So hopefully you found that helpful to be able to see all of your Trello boards within one calendar view. I personally really love this option within Trello that you can have it sync to your Google Calendar, because I'm personally always in my Google Calendar and use that on a very regular basis, so that to be able to have all my tasks synced to that calendar is very beneficial for me. And hopefully this is helpful for you too, in case you wanted to have that option and that view as well for everything in one spot. And if you are interested in learning more about Trello, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and hit the little bell next to it so that you can be notified when I share more Trello videos. And I do share Trello videos every Tuesday, and then every Friday is a Friday feature, which is could be an app, a service, a program, a product that I love using, or that also helps me to save time in my day-to-day life. And then Sunday is Plan With Me Sunday. So don't forget to check out the most recent Sunday one, and I will share the link in the description below too, because that goes into more detail about how you can do color coding and utilize that within your Google Calendar. So don't forget to check out that video too. And thanks for tuning into this video, and I will see you next time.